The shutdown is disproportionate. The pandemic is a very serious problem, but the shutdown is a very disproportionate response to this problem. Over the course of the modern human history, we have never deployed such radical solutions to deal with problems, even when the problem is as serious as the COVID pandemic. Consider this. 1.3 million people die from car crashes every year. Now, what if I propose to you that we abandon all cars starting tomorrow? We'd save 1.3 million lives, I say. And that's this year alone. Surely that's a noble objective to aspire to. But you would scoff at my suggestion. You would look at me as if I lost my mind. And you don't need too much convincing to realize that my proposed solution is an overkill. You will shrug it off in a heartbeat, and instead you will argue that we could impose measures such as speed radars and traffic cameras and speed limits and black points and fines and awareness campaigns and smart cars. All of these would be more reasonable solutions, and you'd be right. Now, people might say that we should not compare pandemics and car crashes, that I'm comparing apples and oranges, that a pandemic is contagious while car crashes are not. And even though that might be right, the example is still valid and it still stands on its own legs as an illustration that we never use radical solution to solve problems. And there's a very good reason why we don't do that. If you're still not convinced with the car argument, here's a second example closer to home. Consider the flu. Now, every year the number of people who die from the flu ranges between 300,000 and 650,000 people. Let's take the lower limit of this range and assume that in 2019, 300,000 people died from the flu. Now, did we shut down the economy? Did we deploy a full lockdown? Did we isolate 7 billion people behind closed doors? Did we impose social distancing or tracing or tracking? No, we haven't. Why not? Aren't their lives as valuable as those who are dying this year from COVID-19? Surely that can't be the answer. And it doesn't matter if you tell me, oh, but the new virus keeps mutating. Oh, but the new virus is more dangerous. Oh, the new virus has a higher infection rate. Its R0 is 2.5 versus 1.3 for the flu. It has a longer incubation period of 14 days. It has the ability to do asymptomatic infections. All of these informations are correct, but they don't make any difference for those 300,000 people who died last year from the flu or for their families. And if we follow 2020 logic, we are all responsible for their deaths because we have not stopped the economy and stayed at home. Can you see the craziness in this thinking approach? What about people who suffer from chronic diseases such as pneumonia or asthma or tuberculosis? Surely the more we self-isolate and the less we mix, the less of them die each year. But the more we follow this logic and the more we go down this road, we risk paralyzing ourselves. The more we follow this train of thought, it becomes clearer and clearer that the shutdown is not the answer.